In 2005, 5 children were born in different corners of London, never knowing they were connected by something older than the city itself. They were just kids, laughing in schoolyards, climbing stairwells of council estates, navigating the noise and shadows of Camden. But deep beneath the surface, something ancient stirred and it chose them. Ava had light in her hands, a glow that pulsed when her heart raced. Jide had a voice that could break silence or command a crowd without raising volume. Zuri whispered to birds and heard the truth in the rustling of leaves. Leo disappeared in fear, literally fading from sight. And Malik, when someone else was in danger, became a storm of strength. They kept these things hidden. Power wasn't something you shared. Not in their world. Not in their London. Then, one night, lightning split the sky over Camden. The city blinked into darkness. The 5 of them, strangers drawn by a force they couldn't name, climbed to the rooftop of their estate. In the wind and silence, they saw it glowing faintly across their skin. The same word, spark. After that, their lives would never be normal again. They began to find each other, not just as friends but as pieces of something bigger. Ava felt it first. She dreamt of tunnels under Holborn Station, of ancient rooms made of stone and fire. One by one, she brought the others in. Beneath the city, they discovered a chamber filled with echoes, rooms carved in bone, walls humming with forgotten names. It was called the Vault. Inside, a message waited for them: you are the sparks. Keep the balance, or lose the world. They began to train, each discovering the depth of their gifts. Ava could bend light and heal small wounds. Jide's words could charm, confuse, or even stop a person mid-motion. Zuri could tap into the life force of plants and animals. Leo could vanish fully, reappear in shadows. Malik's strength only grew when someone he cared about was threatened. But power, even in friendship, breeds tension. Jide grew distant, asking questions about control and leadership. Malik was afraid of hurting people. Zuri often wandered alone, speaking to things only she could hear. Leo hid literally and emotionally. Ava tried to keep them united, but it weighed on her heavily. All the while, something deeper twisted beneath the vault. Old stories called him the Hollow King, a being who once ruled magic before it was buried. Now, the vault's seal was weakening, and his whispers reached upward. Jide heard him most clearly. As London began experiencing strange disasters, vanishing people, blackouts, creatures that weren't meant to exist, the sparks realized they weren't just chosen. They were being tested. They faced trials beneath the city, echoes of older magic, remnants of past vault guardians. In each battle, they grew, not just stronger but older. They bled. They failed. They made mistakes. And then Jide betrayed them. One night, during a mission in the tunnels, he vanished. When he returned, his powers were stronger, but so was the darkness in him. The Hollow King had promised him something the others could not: control, certainty, order. He gave them an ultimatum: join him, or fall. London broke. Bridges collapsed under magical pressure. Buildings cracked with invisible heat. People rioted, unaware they were being pulled like puppets by unseen threads of magic. Authorities had no explanation. News anchors blamed climate, politics, crime. But at the heart of it all were 5 teenagers, 4 trying to save the city, and 1 determined to remake it. They fought through the ruins of old stations. They faced possessed creatures in Camden Market. Zuri summoned 100 birds to stop a collapse. Malik held up a school roof with his bare hands. Leo pulled lost children out of buildings, unseen. But it wasn't enough. Not without Ava. In the end, they cornered Jide beneath King's Cross where the vault was breaking open. The Hollow King stood behind him, half shadow, half fire. And in that final moment, Ava made the choice. She stepped forward alone. And with every bit of her light, she bound Jide and the Hollow King back into the depths of the vault. The explosion turned night into day. The city shook. Then silence. Ava was gone. The vault sealed. The Hollow King vanished. Jide? No one could say. Some believed he was trapped inside the seal. Others claimed he escaped into the space between magic and memory. London moved on. The news forgot. People rebuilt. No one spoke of the magic war beneath their feet. Leo disappeared into the tunnels. Some say he still watches. Zuri became a healer, speaking only in whispers. Malik opened a gym, teaching young boys to hold their strength with care. They never called themselves heroes. Just 5 kids who tried to protect what they could. And Ava's light? It still glows faintly beneath Camden. In quiet nights, when the rain falls on the rooftops, people say you can hear her name carried in the wind. The sparks faded into legend. But legends don't die. They wait until the next